What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. Recently, I had the chance to go to Austin, Texas for the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour Championships, and while I was out there, I got to play a practice round with the legend Connor O'Reilly. Connor is a sponsored player on Team Latitude 64 and an Austin native. Connor showed me around the track and we put together a few highlights, but let's be real. It's mostly going to be Connor because he's a touring pro and he is amazing at throwing frisbees. Not only did I get to spend some great time with he and his brother and just be wowed by the shots he was throwing in person, but I also got to ask him a few questions about what he tries to do when he's playing practice rounds. Pros do this every week so that they can compete at the highest level, and I thought, why can't we use the same methods to try to compete at our local events? Because he's a pro.
Early on when I played practice rounds, I would always keep score every single time just because I was really competitive and wanted to beat the people I'm playing against. On the tour this year, I've done a lot more of just practicing to see what the good shots I want to throw and game plan are. Right now I'm keeping score on my first, and then if I throw a bad one, I'll throw a recorrection here and there. But yeah, I like to keep score, but I think if you don't have enough time to really get comfortable with the course, it's more important just to, I think, throw a lot of shots and see what the good and bad places are to be.
The biggest warning that I give against keeping score during practice rounds is all about expectations. If you keep a practice round score and during the event you actually find yourself behind that pace or playing worse than you did in your practice round, it can create some unnecessary stress that inhibits you from playing your best round. The only way to know how scorekeeping is going to affect you is to try it out. So if you want to keep score, fantastic. And if you want to just throw some shots and repair that way, fantastic as well.
I think probably the most important thing for me when I'm playing practice rounds, at least when it comes to tournament prep at a course, is to throw a number of shots on each hole, at least the ones that seem like they have multiple options. And I think really figuring out how to keep the bogeys away is the most important thing. I found out that if you have the skill to keep the bogeys away, usually you're also going to slip some birdies in there. So I think finding those kind of bait holes that every course has, whether it's a bait green with water on it or a gap that maybe you just need to beat the initial gap and maybe not worry about the second half of your flight, really just get through that gap, maybe take your par in that hole. I think finding a couple trouble holes on the course and knowing how to work through those at par so that when you do get birdies, they don't get erased by a bogey.
I want to take a quick moment to talk about today's video sponsor, Fore Disc Golf. Fore Disc Golf wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to its team members. Introducing the first half of the team today, we've got Joey Adams and the Disc Golf Princess, DF Disc Golf and Jonas over at DG Chef J, Fletcher Parks and Tommy Cower. Be sure to support their disc golf journey by heading to their profiles and giving them a follow. You can also use their code at Fore's website to receive 10% off of your order. Every purchase made using those codes goes directly to supporting each team member. So once again, congratulations to those team members, and the disc golf world can't wait to see where you go.
When it comes to a practice round and deciding whether you want to play out those worst lies, take just your best lies, or kind of do everything in the middle, I think it depends on the familiarity with the course. Maybe the day before the event, you're just trying to get mentally ready. You know the course already and what you want to throw. Maybe you don't play a couple of those bad lies out. You just try to remember the good ones, remember the targets that you want to hit. But maybe it's a couple days before the event, you got time to practice, you play out those bad ones, you get a feel for, okay, like what's the worst case scenarios out here. I think you want to see a little bit of both, and that's how I like to do it.
Confidence is key. You want to find as much confidence out there on that course as you possibly can. If you find that confidence from playing bad shots and knowing, all right, how do I handle this hole if it goes as terrible as possible, then play out those bad shots. But if you know that throwing those bad shots is going to mess with you and all you're going to picture is those bad shots, then play out the great ones. Get a positive mental image going for yourself and make sure you're doing everything you can to step up onto the tee box with complete confidence. That's how you score amazing rounds.
All right, I've mentioned a couple times earlier how I want to get a lot of shots in off a certain tee pad to make sure I see all the spots of a hole, good or bad. But at the same time, I think a lot of people overdo practice rounds in terms of the number of shots they're throwing. I think it's just as important for a tournament for your body to feel fresh where you can commit to throwing the shot and not be worried about an injury or anything as it is to really know the course. So finding the balance between, okay, my body feels good, I can handle this number of throws, and making sure that your body is going to be ready to perform at its peak come tournament time.
Y'all, I want to say thanks to Connor for spending the day with me and playing this round and for coming on and sharing this wisdom. He is an amazing guy who deserves all of the fans and all of the subscribers. And also, guys, the TV does no justice to how far these people actually throw. These pros are insane, and it's so cool watching it in person. All in all, I want to say thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to leave you with the birdie.